Guys, I haven't been on for a while, but a lot has happened since I've been on last time. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know. I had no idea. Came as a big surprise to me. As some of you know, my mom came out here to live with me in Spain, and I was so happy the first day that she came out here. I was livid. To have my mom come here to spend actually, which turned out to be her last days on earth with us. And I really do appreciate her coming out here and spending time with us. Very sad. I feel very sad, but it's okay. It's all right. I know she's in a better place. And she never really explained to me that she wasn't feeling well. She tried to keep it to herself that she wasn't really feeling well. I mean, she had the things that most people have. Oh my gosh, it was supposed to be today. Wow. She had the most things that people had, when they're older. Don't mind me, I just saw a message that was for me. I was supposed to go somewhere today, I forgot. Ugh. I can't even think straight after my mom has passed. So, yeah, she had the typical things that normal older people have. And I didn't think of it as anything like really, really bad. And was it on the 6th or the 5th, actually? Yeah. No, on the 3rd, excuse me. The 3rd of this month of February, she was like a little bit funny, just acting kind of funny, just acting a little bit distant. And I thought she was mad at me actually because I had just came back from the store, and I thought that she was angry with me, you know, and because she wanted a particular type of food or something, and I didn't have the right food for her. So I went to the store to get some for her. When I came back, she was completely out of it, just like I am right now. I'm just completely out of it. I can't even talk straight, you know. So yeah. So then I noticed that she was a little bit distant, and I kept saying, "Mom, are you all right?" And she wouldn't answer me. And I kept saying, "Mom, are you all right?" And she still wouldn't answer me. Just kept looking around, funny, like she was completely disoriented. And then the biggest test, because everybody knows she loves the heck out of my daughter. She loves my daughter, Shauna. She calls Shauna Princess. That's my older daughter. And she loves my daughter very much. And when my daughter says to her, "Grandma, are you okay?" And when my mom turned her head and turned away from her is when I knew something was wrong with my mom. So that's when I knew it was time to call the ambulance. I knew there was time to call the ambulance. This all happened in my house in front of my kids. And the moment I said, you know what, I better call an ambulance, is when she started having like a seizures, like really intense seizure. And she's never, ever had that, ever. And I think that came from me just saying to her that I'm going to call an ambulance. I think she might have gotten a little bit nervous or scared. So I think that was the problem. When she heard ambulance, she just went off. She just started shaking uncontrollably. And then I was trying to calm her down, kissing her, or rubbing her head and saying, "Mommy, don't worry, it's going to be all right." And the kids were screaming. And then I had a friend that her husband, he was the boss of the ambulances here on the island that I live on. He's retired, but this happened to be sitting out in the front of my house with my daughter, and I ran to her and I said, "Please get an ambulance right away, my mother," and she sent an ambulance for me. So while I was waiting for the ambulance, but she had another seizure, and I said, "Mommy, squeeze my hand if you know who I am. Squeeze my hand, if you're okay." And she squeezed my hand, although she couldn't talk. And that while the ambulance was coming in, she had a third seizure. And I was just completely devastated. I didn't know what to do. Then after that, she just kind of like, they call it traveling. When if somebody's passing away, they call it traveling. And she looked like she was traveling. My father did the same thing when he was passing away. And and then they took her into the ambulance. And when they took her in the ambulance, and the ambulances here are probably the same as it is in the States, where it's like a little miniature hospital, and you can do operations and things like that. And I heard that she had passed away in the ambulance, but then she came back. I don't understand the Spanish. As long as I've been out here, I don't understand sometimes the Spanish. And matter of fact, I was a little bit too upset to really even think about what they were saying. So my daughter overheard them saying that they had lost her and that she came back. So that's what happened. And yeah, so then they took her to a hospital, and she was in an induced coma for 2 days, and they were going to wake her up on the Wednesday morning. So I went Wednesday night to go and see her, thinking that she would be completely off and still sleeping. I didn't think she'd wake up. When I got there, she was wide awake, wide awake. And I was joking around with her. I was singing to her, reading Bible text to her. She was joking around. I looked at her and I said, "Mommy, you scared me to death." I said to her, "If you ever do that again, I'll kill you." She started laughing at me. And we just had actually the best time that we could ever have. From the time that she's been here, I was with her an hour and a half because she was in critical condition, the critical section, and she was in the critical section, and she, I don't know, she was great. That was the best time of my life that I've had with her for the hour and a half that I had a chance to visit with her. And I told her, it was time for me to leave, and I said, "I'll be back, Mommy. I'll be back." And I said, "I love you." And she says, "I love you too, sweetheart." And we kissed each other. And I said, "I see you tomorrow morning." And she says, "Okay." So it was great. I was like just praising God that she was here. I was just praising God thank you for bringing back my mom to me. And now, when I got home, the hospital called me and they said to me, "Please come back as soon as you can." And I said, "Why? I mean, my mom, I just left her and she was perfect." They said, "Please come back to the hospital." So I went right back to the hospital, and the doctor said with tears in his eyes before I even looked at her, he says, "She's gone." And I said, "What do you mean by she's gone?" He says, "She's gone." He says, "Her heart just stopped." So there you go. So my mom's gone. Mom's gone. And I feel so alone. What a strange feeling. I mean, my father was my heart. My father and I loved him to death, and I was so upset when I lost him. But something was different with my mother, man. I felt so lost. I felt like I was floating in space. I felt like I was floating in space with a cut umbilical cord. And I was just floating, and I didn't have no anchor. I didn't know where I was. That's exactly how I was feeling with my mother. And everybody knows that my mother and we had a good relationship, but it wasn't the greatest, you know? But wow, and I just, she died on the 6th, 5 minutes before midnight. So, yeah, my mom is gone. My mom is gone. And I thought she was coming back. I thought she was back, to see me, but no. No. But I just wanted you guys to know what was going on, and to let you know I'm okay. I'm going through it, and I was on a spiritual journey before my mom died. So the spiritual journey that I've been on for the last, I'd say maybe about a year now, but the last month I've really sped up my spirituality, all the practices that I've been doing, all of these things. It has really helped comfort me. I've been doing affirmations, I've been meditating, I've been praying intensively before my mom passed, and all of these things have really helped me. It has really, really helped me get through all of this. And the best thing, most of all, that helped me was that my little cousin Megan, had a baby, and my cousin Megan had a baby. And for me, I look at that as the circle of life. You know, one person is gone in the family, but another one is replaced. And for me, it was like my mom came back to me when I saw that beautiful baby's face. I know that this is meant to be, and I know that she's in a better place. I mean, she's even communicated with me. Can you imagine? She's communicated with me. I had to cremate her because it's a lot of money to really send the body back to America. So I had to cremate her, cremated my mother, and I'm taking her back. We're going to have a decent ceremony for my mother. So we're going to have a decent ceremony for mom. And we'll see what happens. It's just tough. It's really tough getting through this. It's really, my heart is so heavy thinking about mom. Really, really heavy. But I love her. Yeah, I was picking the urn for her. It was a color blue. I said, I love this blue. I love the color blue, as you can see, my eyeglasses. So I picked the color blue and before she got cremated. And then I said, no, maybe I better pick a feminine color. So I picked silver and gold. And I said, I'll pick that instead. Then that night, I have a friend of mine that came up to me and says, Sharon, your mom came to me in the dream and she kept saying, blue, 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 blue. I said, why is she saying blue? She says, what does blue mean? She kept saying, I want the blue one. I want the blue one. It's my mother. So I went back to the crematorio and I asked them to change it from silver and gold to blue. So my mom communicated with me. But in that case, I don't think that she really wanted the blue. I think that was her just trying to show me that she was here, that she was there when I was picking the urn, that she's with me. So I know that she's with me. I do feel a sense of love. Sometimes I even feel somebody touching my face. I feel somebody like touching my face. Or last night, I felt somebody putting their hand on my leg when I was sleeping. And I know that was my mother because I just felt a sense of warmth go through me. So just letting you guys know that my mom passed. All right. And thank you guys for all the support. I put a GoFundMe page up for my mother because I need money to try to get out there to have a funeral in America. I got to take her out there. And I want to bring my children as well. So we'll see what happens, you guys. I love you guys. And thank you, whoever have supported me. I do appreciate it. All right. And yeah, just send me some positive vibes. I need lots of positive vibes right now. All right. Love you guys. Don't mind my nails. My nails are messed up. I can't help it. Okay. I can't even think straight. I can't. Anyway, love you guys, and I will talk to you guys again soon. All right. Bye. Bye.